All right, Chalthus. So it looks like we have our next match is going to be Titanium Ricochet versus Kings of Urban.
That should be good. A very exciting matchup. Coming off of such a abrupt sweep at the hands of Swarm, I have to kind of wonder the mentality that Kings of Urban will be taking into this match. Are they going to be a little bit, low on the morale side, have a difficult time competing? Because I think Titanium Ricochet is a very solid squad. Normally I would say, oh yeah, Kings of Urban has this. But, in this particular matchup, I'm kind of wondering, because I really got to know where Kings of Urban's heads are at.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, last week Kings of Urban seemed to be on a tear, and they only lost 3-2 to Complain. So I don't have enough information to tell what the scores were for the individual games, but it seems like Complain really didn't have any issues this week. So Titanium Ricochet, though, is going to have their hands full because Kings of Urban, even on an off day, is pretty nasty.
They are, yeah, and I think that could be a big factor going into this as well. Complain, obviously, they were a very formidable team last week. Now they have Pluto working on their squad as a sub this week. Could make them just as formidable, or maybe a little more. I don't know yet. I guess we'll find out soon. But, yeah, I really do think that above anything else, this should be a very interesting matchup. And I'm looking forward to see which team makes it forward. I'm going to lean still towards Kings of Urban just based off what I know, how we've seen them play, what I know they're capable of. But could the upset happen? I guess anything's possible.
So we'll go ahead and take a look at the matches that we are talking about. So in these first rounds, we saw that Complain, Swarm, Cosmic, and Flipside moving on. Now we're in the losers bracket, so the second chance bracket. This is a double elimination tournament. So it is going to be Kings of Urban versus Titanium Ricochet. The loser of this game is out of the tournament. So we've got 3 NA teams already in here. So it's not looking good for NA so far. But one of these teams is moving on, so we'll at least have an NA team moving into the second round of the losers.
Yeah, no, for sure. So it's kind of the same thing we saw last week. It was a little bit heavy EU side, but ultimately it kind of balanced out at the very end there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of the same. But really, I mean, the matches we've got going here look to be very exciting. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Apollo 11 and ... and seeing how that match plays out, because we did see Apollo 11 and how they played against Cosmic was okay, and finally started to get it back a little bit. But ... got taken out with not too much difficulty by, it looks like a 3-1 in that series. But they did make a pretty solid run through the qualifier to get here. So that would be a pretty even matchup, I think.
Absolutely. So we're just in here waiting for these teams to get ready. Looks like they are joining up on these teams. So Kings is going to be blue, and we will hop on board with them right after the game begins. It looks like a little bit of a mix-up there by Ways 1.
There they go. They figured it out. It's not 4-on-2.
Yeah. So we'll go on board with Gambit right now. So, an opportunity pretty close out of the gate for Titanium.
Yeah, that was a very early shot on net that looked pretty on point, but they weren't able to really close it out. It was just slightly off, and Gambit turned it around pretty quickly there.
So we are going to follow Gambit around here. One thing that's throwing me off is normally Gambit plays with the Gizmo, and now he's playing with the Breakout. So I don't know what that story is, but yeah, that's pretty insane, because the Gizmo is widely known for being a dribbling card, but Fireburner puts the ball in early. Yeah,
this is a great play. Picks it up off the corner here, just sort of sets it up across the net and couldn't get to it. I mean, that's one of those heartbreaker goals, you know?
That is.
The kind of goal that maybe shouldn't have gone in, but then it did.
Yeah, it just bounced off the corner and no one was there to hit it. It looked like Classics got hung up on the wall there and wasn't able to hit it, and Waze had missed the clear on the wall and it just rolled in, so that one is definitely heartbreaking.
Yeah, big play there. So, I mean, it's still going to come down to how well Titanium Ricochet starts to respond and get things together. It's looking pretty even so far, despite the scoreline. I'm seeing some really solid plays coming through from Titanium Ricochet and just very good chances on net, but Gambit, it's like a wall. I mean, that's typical for Gambit, though. We see that a lot out of him. When he gets back on defense, he just is kind of relentless.
Yes, he is. He has just such good clears from pretty much anywhere on the net or anywhere in the on the field. He can put him on net. He is one of the best players in the game, undoubtedly top 2 or 3 player in North America. So really looking to Gambit to see some sick plays today.
Yeah, one thing I'm seeing out of Cosmic here is, or sorry, Cosmic, Titanium Ricochet is on the offense. They were bunched up quite a bit, so that could be a bit of a problem, especially if they're going in too hard. They tend to all be kind of gathering around the same part of the pitch instead of spreading out a little bit more. But hopefully they can, figure out the exact strategy they want to approach into this and get a few more solid shots on net, because with that, they could certainly tie this game up with no problem.
Yeah, but it's still only 1-0. There's 2.5 minutes left, so plenty of time for Titanium Ricochet to make something happen here. You can see Moses trying to get the clear. Classicus and Ways trying to help out with that. Classics does a good job not going for that, and now they're able to get the ball out of their zone, but Fireburner might be able to just punch it right back in. And he gets a sick double tap clear.
Yeah, that was perfect. Great setup here, but nobody there to actually finish it. Which is too bad. Sometimes that's happen. You got your teammates who are either back on defense or back kind of regrouping in one way or another, and despite your beautiful setup, they're not able to be there to get the finish.
Yep, and you can see Waze trying to help out here with his team trying to get it out in Classics with a solid clear, but Jacob putting it right back in the zone. Titanium struggling to get anything going here in terms of offense.
Yeah, they are. They look pretty good in the early goings, but since then, Kings of Urban has really started to come back, and they're just constantly keeping that ball in the orange zone. And the approach they're taking is also really good there. They're doing a nice 2-forward style.
Oh, and a sick play by Gambit.
Speaking of an effective 2-forward style of attack, Fireburner.
Oh, they skipped the replay. Oh, no.
Fireburner got a little bit of setup there. Gambit came in with a big finish, and it was just a very solid play for Kings of Urban to extend this lead a little bit, give themselves a bit of insurance, and probably really extend it enough that they will take this game most likely.
Yep, and so we're going to go on board with Jacob here. Jacob, if you guys were watching last week, Jacob was a key player for Kings of Urban, just getting a ton of saves and big clears and just putting the goals that rolled out in front of net in. So Jacob, he also is a relatively new add for Kings of Urban, replacing Kyle Mask. So keep your eyes on him to see how well he performs in this tournament.
Agreed. Jacob was a very effective changeover for Kings of Urban. They looked outstanding last week watching them in this tournament. So that's why it was so surprising when I found out that they are in the lower bracket and were kind of throttled in the process to get down here. But
ooh, wow. Very close.
Oh, no.
They're fighting for it. Titanium not able to punch that one in. So we'll go on board with Classics from Titanium, who was the one trying to put that ball into the net and was not able to do so. It was so close.
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, they had a lot of brilliant chances there to put that ball in the net. I am very shocked that they have not broken this clean sheet, because that was way too close.
Well, there's an opportunity. Fireburner with an amazing save, though. Kings of Urban has just been on point with their saves, though. It's been so hard for Titanium to break that defense just because it is so strong.
Yeah, that has been the, I think, deciding factor really in that game, was just impeccable defense by Kings of Urban. Everybody was there constantly stopping what were pretty solid shots. But yeah, just stellar work really all around. So good showing by Kings of Urban, coming out strong, trying to recover a bit from a very aggressive, early going there. So I'm interested really to see now if Titanium Ricochet, or if they can break that wall, because that's what it
Yes.
comes down to now.
Well, Titanium has not, I don't believe they've won a game yet so far. So they are winless in this Rocket Royale. They need to get a game here just to help get their momentum.